Hello everyone. Today, I will tell you an amazing story. This is the story of Sony, a company that changed the world. After World War II, Japan was destroyed. People had no home, no food, no hope. Two men, Masaru, Ibuka, and Akio Morita, had only one thing, a big dream. From a small, burnt room, they started building radios and machines. They failed many times, but never gave up. Later, they created the first Japanese transistor radio, the Walkman, and the PlayStation. Sony became more than a company, it became a world of music, games, movies, and dreams. Welcome everyone. Imagine a world left in ruins, cities broken by bombs, the air heavy with smoke and despair. In the heart of Tokyo, after the devastating end of World War II, two men looked at the ruins around them and saw not just destruction, but opportunity. Masaru, Ibuka, an engineer, and Akio Morita, a physicist, had nothing, no money, no home. And for many, no hope, but they carried within them a dream that would one day change the world. Masaru was endlessly curious, always taking apart radios, clocks, and machines, trying to understand how they worked, not to destroy them, but to make them better. He believed that even in broken things, there was potential. During the war, he had worked with electronics for the army, but when Japan lost, he lost everything. Instead of succumbing to despair, he collected a few tools, found a tiny damaged room in a burnt-out department store, and began to build again. The room was no larger than a small kitchen, with broken chairs, burnt bricks, and only the faint light of possibility. Ibuka called it the Tokyo Telecommunications Research Institute, but in truth, it was a simple space with a determined man and an impossible dream. He built radios, electrical devices, and machines, day and night, with nothing but persistence as his fuel. Alone, it was not enough, and he needed someone who could dream beyond the circuits and wires. That someone was Akio Morita, a man from a wealthy family, with a vision that stretched far beyond Tokyo. Morita wanted to see Japan rise again, not just as a nation recovering from war, but as a beacon of innovation. When he heard about Ibuka's small lab, he sought it out, and the moment they met, they recognized in each other the spark that could ignite something extraordinary. They were different, yet together unstoppable. Japan was broken. The economy had collapsed. Hunger and homelessness were everywhere, and the people had little faith in the future. Electronics were a luxury few could afford or imagine. Yet Ibuka and Morita believed in something audacious. They would not follow the world, they would lead it. Their first creation, a rice cooker, failed spectacularly. It burned the rice, had no temperature control, and nobody bought it. But they did not despair. They tried again and again and again, learning with every attempt. Their breakthrough came with the transistor radio. Japan had never produced one before. Many laughed at the idea, saying it was impossible, that the country lacked the parts, the expertise, and the reputation. But they persisted. Using leftover wires, black market parts, and broken components, they experimented relentlessly. Months passed with sleepless nights and empty stomachs, yet they emerged victorious, creating Japan's first transistor radio. They needed a name that would be recognized worldwide, something short, simple, and powerful. They chose Sony, combining sonos, the Latin word for sound, with sunny, evoking youth, energy, and hope. With the name came a declaration. They were not merely making products, they were building a brand the world would respect. In 1955, with nothing but ambition in a tiny office in Tokyo, they decided it was time to take their invention beyond. Japan. Morita traveled to the United States, a country still wary of Japan just 10 years after the war. Armed with nothing but 2 radios, a dictionary, and unwavering faith. In New York City, everything seemed larger than life, fast and overwhelming, yet he remained undeterred. He visited shops and companies, speaking broken English, using gestures, diagrams, and sheer determination to make people believe in his tiny radios. Rejection was constant, but Morita had faced worse. Each day, he returned to his modest hotel room, revised his approach, and tried again. He noticed that American radios were big, heavy, and expensive. Sony's was small, light, and portable. He emphasized this. You can carry music in your pocket, walk with it, travel with it. Teenagers and music lovers were intrigued. Small shop agreed to take 10 units, and all sold out in 2 days. Orders grew, and soon a major distributor offered a deal. They would sell thousands of radios, but under their own name, not Sony. Morita refused, knowing the name represented their identity, their dreams. Respecting his courage, the distributor agreed, and Sony received its first major US order. The company expanded, with Morita in New York and Ibuka in Tokyo managing production. Their bridge between Tokyo and New York strengthened, and Sony was on its way to becoming a global brand. Success did not make Morita complacent. He wanted to create something that had never existed, to revolutionize music. This vision led to the birth of the Walkman in 1979. Sony's engineers initially doubted the idea, a cassette player without speakers, for private listening only, seemed useless. Morita envisioned a new lifestyle, people walking, jogging, and traveling while immersed in their own world of music. After months of testing and refining, the Walkman was ready. At first, the public did not understand it. Sony hired young models to demonstrate it in parks, subways, and campuses. The sight of people enjoying music on the go sparked curiosity and desire. Orders poured in, and soon the Walkman became a global sensation, selling millions within a few years. It changed how people interacted with music, turning listening into a personal, portable experience. Sony's influence extended beyond electronics. It shaped culture. They had created a brand synonymous with innovation, independence, and identity. Morita became a global icon, recognized for transforming not just technology but human experience. The company did not stop with music. Video games became their next frontier. In the early 1990s, a young engineer, Ken Kutaragi, envisioned a gaming console that offered experiences unlike any before. Sony partnered with Nintendo to develop a CD-ROM system for a new console, but just hours before a major announcement, Nintendo betrayed them. Morita and Kutaragi could have given up, but instead, they transformed betrayal into opportunity. Sony developed the PlayStation, a revolutionary gaming system that redefined interactive entertainment. Launched in 1994, it was an immediate success. Sony had turned anger and rejection into a global triumph. Their influence expanded further into movies and music. In 1989, Sony acquired Columbia Pictures, venturing boldly into Hollywood. Early failures did not deter them. They learned, adapted, and produced blockbusters such as Spider-Man, Men in Black, and The Da Vinci Code. Simultaneously, Sony Music signed legendary artists, shaping global culture through entertainment. From morning routines to bedtime, Sony's products and creations became part of everyday life, touching eyes, ears, hands, and hearts. Every camera, console, and headphone carried more than functionality, carried emotion, meaning, and possibility. Even in the face of competition from Apple, Samsung, and others, Sony returned to its roots, creating experiences that mattered. The company focused on its strengths, from PlayStation 2, imaging AI, and cinematic technology, continually building worlds through innovation. Behind the empire were countless untold stories of persistence. Ibuka working in a burned-out store, Morita selling dreams in a foreign land, Kutaragi perfecting a console against ridicule. Sony thrived not by luck, but through courage, creativity, and relentless determination. Life lessons from their journey are clear. You don't need everything to start. Rejection is not the end. Protect your identity and values. Failure is part of growth, led with emotion, not just products. And originality is priceless. Sony's revenue exceeds $90 billion, employs over 110,000 people, and reaches nearly every country on Earth. But beyond numbers, it is a story of belief, vision, and courage. From a tiny burnt room to a global empire, Sony exemplifies that beginnings do not dictate endings. Pain, struggle, and obstacles are no barriers for those with dreams. Your hands may be empty, your voice unheard, your world uncertain. But with vision and persistence, the impossible becomes possible. Sony is proof that one dream, nurtured with passion and resilience, can transform the world. Every product, every innovation, every risk taken is a testament to human creativity and courage. They remind us that greatness is not given, it is built, often in silence, through persistence, and with the courage to defy the odds. The story of Sony is not just a tale of electronics or business. It is a story of hope, of daring to dream in the face of adversity, and of creating something that touches hearts, inspires minds, and changes lives. It is a story that encourages every listener to believe in themselves, to protect their vision, and to pursue their dreams relentlessly. Whether it's a transistor radio, a Walkman, a PlayStation, or a blockbuster film, Sony's journey demonstrates that innovation is born from courage and that persistence transforms obstacles into opportunities. As you reflect on this story, remember that beginnings are never too small, setbacks are never permanent, and with determination, you can create a legacy that inspires generations. Dreams are not limited by resources or circumstances. They are limited only by imagination and resolve. And so, the story of Sony continues, reminding us that with vision, courage, and persistence, anything is possible. Now, the story ends. Sony is a symbol of courage and creativity. From a small, burnt room to a global empire, they showed us, never give up. Failure is not the end. Belief can change the world. Sony built not only products, but memories and experiences for millions. Remember, greatness starts with one small dream.